All right, let's talk about a skill that's a real game changer for any market researcher. We're talking about skill 3. This is what separates someone who just collects data from someone who tells a story and really influences big decisions. We're going to break it all down by following an apprentice on her journey so you can see exactly how to master it, how to prove you've mastered it, and how to nail your final assessment. Ready? Let's get into it.
Okay, so first up, let's meet Jody. She's a Level 4 Market Research Executive Apprentice working at a company called Ibis Stores. Now she's smart, she's driven, and she's probably in a spot that feels pretty familiar to a lot of you, right in the thick of her apprenticeship.
And right away, here's her big challenge. Her manager, Riddle, drops this absolute mountain of customer survey data on her desk. There's a huge stakeholder meeting coming up, and Riddle is clear. She doesn't want a spreadsheet full of numbers. She wants the story. She needs to know the so what behind all that data.
So Jody's looking at all this data and, she's feeling a little bit lost. It's all there, but how do you turn rows and columns into a clear, compelling story? It feels like a massive jump. She knows she needs some kind of map to get her from these raw numbers to a killer presentation that people can actually act on.
So what does she do? Exactly what every great apprentice should do. She reaches out to her support system. She calls up her mentor at work, Adam, and gets in touch with her apprenticeship coach, Olivia. And they tell her that the map she's looking for, well, it's a core part of her apprenticeship. It's called Skill S3. Okay, so this S3 skill is supposed to be Jody's map, but what is it? Really? Let's take a look at the official definition and figure out why it's so incredibly important for her and for you too.
So there it is. Interpret, prepare, and communicate research findings. Basically, it's the art of taking all that analyzed data and turning it into something clear, meaningful, and most importantly, actionable. You're not just making pretty charts, you're interpreting, you're preparing, and you're communicating in a way that helps people make smart business decisions.
Her mentor, Adam, just hits the nail on the head with this. He tells her, your job is to find the story in the numbers. Separate the what from the so what. And that right there is the heart of S3. It's the huge difference between just reporting facts and providing real, valuable insight.
And if you're ever wondering why this matters so much, this slide lays it all out. Seriously, think about it. If nobody understands the research, all that hard work you did, it's basically worthless. Stakeholders are busy people. They don't have the time to learn all the technical stuff. Your job is to be the translator, the bridge. When you do that well, you prevent bad decisions, you build trust, and you help the business move forward with confidence.
So to help Jody build that bridge, Adam gives her a super clear, repeatable process. It's a 6-step path that she can use for this project and really for any project that comes her way. Let's walk through it together.
And here it is. This is the whole journey, laid out perfectly. You see, it all starts with number 1, understand the objectives. That's your why. Then it flows through interpreting the data, building a story, creating your materials, and all the way to number 6, facilitate application, which is where your insights turn into action. It's a fantastic logical flow that makes sure your work is always on point.
So first things first, Jody goes right back to the beginning. She doesn't even look at the spreadsheet. She pulls out the original research brief. What was the business question we were trying to answer here? What decision does Rital actually need to make? This step is so crucial because it anchors everything she does next.
Now we get to step 2, interpretation. And this is where that what versus so what idea really comes to life. Check this out. An observation is just a fact from the data. 60% of our shoppers are female. Okay, that's the what. But the insight, that's the so what. It's what it means. Our marketing isn't resonating with male shoppers. See the difference? That's something the business can actually do something about.
So, Jody follows all 6 steps and puts together an amazing presentation. She absolutely crushes it. Now, her coach Olivia comes back into the picture. It's time to take all this fantastic work and turn it into solid evidence for her Aptum portfolio. You know, that online system for tracking all her progress. She's got to prove she's mastering skill S3.
So how do you actually prove you can do this stuff? Well, Olivia shows Jody that the evidence can be lots of different things. Of course, the presentation slide deck itself is perfect, but so is a written report, or even the notes from a meeting where she talked through the insights. Hey, even an email from her manager, Riedel, saying, wow, that was a super clear presentation, that counts too.
And you're going to want to save this slide because this is your cheat sheet. It shows you exactly what an assessor is looking for. If you submit a presentation, they're checking for a logical story and clear visuals. If it's a report, they want to see that your interpretation is accurate. They don't just want to see what you did, they want to understand why you did it. And pay attention to that last one, the written reflection. That's your chance to explain your thought process and really show you know your stuff.
Okay, now let's talk about the final boss, the endpoint assessment, the EPA. This is where everything comes together. To get Jody ready, her coach Olivia does a little role-playing, hitting her with the kinds of questions an assessor is likely to ask.
Here's a total classic. An assessor loves to ask this. What they're really trying to figure out is, were you just looking for data to support your own ideas, or did you have a solid process to stay objective? They're testing your self-awareness here. And Jody's answer here is brilliant because it's so specific. She doesn't just say, I tried to be objective. No, she gives 2 concrete actions. She constantly went back to the original objectives, and she talked it through with her mentor, Adam, to get a second opinion. That shows she has a real, repeatable process.
And here's another big one. This question is all about the communicate part of S3. Can you take all this complex stuff and explain it to people who aren't data experts, like our manager Rita or other leaders?
Boom! Another great answer. Why? Because it shows she was thinking about her audience the whole time. She focused on what mattered to the business, she cut out all the confusing jargon, and she used visuals to tell a story. She proved she can be that essential bridge between the data and the decision.
And the result of all this? Jody completely nailed her presentation. By using that S3 framework, she didn't just dump a bunch of data on people, she told a powerful story that helped IBA stores make clear, confident decisions. She proved her value and took a massive leap forward in her career.
So, let's wrap this up. The biggest thing to take away here is that Skill S3 is not just some box you have to tick on your apprenticeship. It's a superpower. It's the ability to turn boring numbers into a compelling narrative, to turn data into real decisions, and to turn an apprentice into a trusted, strategic advisor. Every data set you get has a story inside it. The only question is, are you ready to tell?